Hi, it's Sarah. Today we're going to talk about the full moon and the astrology for November 2019. So this is the intuitive astrology forecast coming to you live from Los Lunas, New Mexico in America. This is class number 12 for 2019. So, November is turning out to be a very magical month, yeah? There are quite a few things happening this month, and overall, though, you'll be pleased to know they're very positive. This is definitely an abundant full moon, too, so I have quite a bit about it and also about Jupiter and, of course, Mercury retrograde and some other things going on, too. If you have been working really hard this year, then probably you're starting to see stuff pay off now. And if you haven't, don't lose hope because the finish line is just up ahead. And I know you're feeling tired and overwhelmed because most of us are, but know that it's okay. Everything is about to fall into place, okay? So this magical full moon will occur on November the 12th in Taurus. And yes, that's the day after a magical 11/11 day. Okay, and what that means is the energy of the full moon and 11/11 will be working together and they will be magnifying each other. So yes, this is going to make it super powerful. But more about 11/11 in just a second. This particular full moon is sometimes called the beaver moon, or depending on the winter solstice, it's also known as the frost moon or the morning moon. And of course, these names come from North American indigenous tribes. You may see it online. Somebody may be talking about the beaver moon and somebody else may be talking about the frost moon, but they're talking about the November moon. Probably talking about how the energy has sped up dramatically too, right? Because it does feel like time is whizzing by. And I know when time speeds up, we all tend to feel overwhelmed. But there is some good news. November brings some of the most delightful cosmic alignments of the year. So before we get too deep into the astrology and the cosmic energy and the planet movements and the intuitive forecast, I have to do the disclaimer. We all know that the moon, stars, and celestial bodies do, in fact, affect life here on Earth. But ultimately, it is up to us. So as much as we would like to blame everything on Mercury retrograde, yeah, we can't. We still need to be responsible for our own decisions, actions, and reactions. What you do with the information I'm sharing with you today is totally up to you, and Serenity or myself are not responsible. So now that I made my attorney happy, let's move forward. What can we expect from the full moon in Taurus? Well, it's really interesting because Taurus is about safety, stability, and creature comfort. Taurus needs to feel safe, and now with all these changes, these opportunities, everything happening, it's really hard for a lot of us to feel safe. We feel overwhelmed, we feel lost, and we feel like we weren't ready for some of the things to happen that are taking place. But this full moon will help us understand that if we haven't, we need to understand and accept that change is part of life. And actually, that's what life is. It's about constant changes. While this can be unnerving, it can also be invigorating because we know we're going to be so much better off on the other side of these changes. Yeah, it's just when you're in the middle of it, it's kind of hard to see it. One problem that this Taurus moon will highlight is comfort over doing the right thing. And by that, I mean, are you staying in a relationship? Are you staying at a job? Or are you staying in school? When you know you've outgrown the situation, are you staying there just because it's safe? Just because you know what to expect? Are you sacrificing your own self-respect over security? Yeah. And is your soul pushing you while your logical brain is saying, it's not that bad, right? So this is some deep stuff. Can you stay longer? Should you stay longer? What would you do if you left? So in other words, this moon is asking the question, are you choosing material comfort over yourself and over your own personal growth and evolution? So this is a tough lesson. When we accept ourselves for who we are, and stop trying to fit into society's mold or stop trying to please other people or do what we think they think we should do, and stop all of this people pleasing, and we really embrace who we are, these changes will become much easier. And I know that's easy to say, but hard to do. So I'm not saying that this is a time to boldly jump out there and quit your job or leave your relationship without a safety net. No, because that's never favored. It's never the right thing to do. But blindly pretending the situation will fix itself isn't going to work either, and it will continue to escalate. Take the energy of the full moon and work towards making practical decisions. Take this full moon along with the Mercury energy to really do some internal work. Decide what's important to you and what's important to your family. What's going to move you forward? What's going to move you closer to those goals, no matter what they are? And what's going to keep you stuck? And then set some realistic goals to make these changes. But also don't begin the changes while we're still in Mercury retrograde. Take this time, actually until about the middle of December, to really sit with this, because this is big stuff. This is really big, life-changing stuff. But if you're unsure what you should do, you can always begin by journaling out your feelings and ask yourself, and then journal the answers, of course, to, am I happy? Is this what I want to be doing? Would I be happy being here at this time next year? Would I be happy being here in 5 years? You can tell by the answers, of course, whether or not this is the right thing to do. So that's what this full moon is about. It's pretty big, isn't it? On the other hand, though, this full moon holds great cosmic potential for bringing our goals and dreams into reality and for attracting and tapping into abundance. While things may be in flux because of all the changes, you can expect to get maybe a little bit of extra work, extra money, something like that coming in this month too. It's not all hard work, but it's definitely a big part of it. And if you've been working away all year long on a big project, like maybe trying to get your business off the ground or finish that book or graduate, you may see things really shift in your favor during the 3 days of the full moon too. So, I mean, there's a lot of positive energy happening, and even this soul searching is positive. It's not something maybe we would relish doing, but it's something definitely that needs to be done. The organs influenced by Taurus are the neck, the throat, the vocal cords, thyroid glands, tonsils, and Adam's apple. These organs are more sensitive, so provide them with extra care during this time. And as you can tell, they're all throat chakra related. So this month is going to definitely be flavored with throat chakra energy. So if you aren't speaking up, if you aren't speaking your truth, you can expect to feel it. And you may feel this also too, because with Mercury in retrograde, we have a hard time communicating. We have a hard time speaking clearly. We have a hard time getting our message across to other people. So it's really interesting, isn't it? We are being pushed to dig deeper and to make those stronger connections and to really be authentic during this time. Always surgical operations, if you have the luxury of avoiding them, do not schedule them during the full moon. So it's also worth noting on 11/11 we have something else happening as well. The sun aligns exactly with Mercury in retrograde. So the sun signifies the rebirth of Mercury and will be a day to watch when it comes to the themes of Mercury retrograde. So if you haven't already, watch the videos. I'll put them up here and I'll put them in the description box below, links to them, to really kind of understand what Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is all about. And the lessons are different this time, and they're very different for each sign. I would advise you watch that as well. It may not be what you think, or it may not be what you're expecting. So we have a Mercury in retrograde aligning with the sun on 11/11. We have 11/11 energy, and then we also have the full moon the next day. So you can see we're setting up for a very powerful day, and actually a very powerful 3 or 4 days. It's a lot. And then we've also got Jupiter in motion. Jupiter is in motion from November the 19th to the 24th, and it's going to move across the galactic center. When this happens, Jupiter's energy becomes amplified, and with it, generally we can expect abundance, we can expect wealth, we can expect cosmic support. So you want to make the most of this time as well, and that's the 19th to the 24th if you didn't catch it. This won't happen again for another 12 years. So it's a wonderful energy for spiritual development and for boosting positive energy all around. Any spiritual practice from yoga to Reiki to meditation will be amplified during this time. So Go get a Reiki session, go take a class, go do yoga, go do something to make the most of this. And also, if you want to take a class from Serenity and really get the most out of it, this is the time. And heads up, I'll put some classes on sale probably as of the 10th, okay? Also, use this energy to work on personal healing and development to make the transition to next year even smoother. So it's going to be, like I say, there's some nice things happening. There's also going to be a new moon in Sagittarius on November the 26th, and it will bring a major optimistic energy forward. So right now, while you're kind of struggling and thinking, yeah, right, yeah, know that's about to change. You know, you're about to get really optimistic. And for you to get optimistic, that means things are going to start falling into place, yeah? Take heed and just keep moving forward, okay? During this time, it's really interesting because this is the last new moon before eclipse season starts. So this is our chance to revisit themes and lessons as well as patterns we've began working with since the last eclipse, which was in July of 2019. So I would suggest you pull out your diaries, journals, calendars, and look at the lessons and themes from this summer. What have we learned? What can we take away from this? What do we want to repeat and what do we want to let go of? Yeah, to November the 20th is when Mercury comes out officially of retrograde, but we still have the shadow period, and I'll go more into that in just a second. The other big thing happening is Neptune. Neptune is also coming out of retrograde during this time. Neptune is coming out of a long retro and turning direct in Pisces. It's been in retrograde since June the 21st, and it's brought a lot of us hard lessons. And the energy has been harsh because it's been digging up deep shadow issues and hidden problems for us to face. And maybe things we thought we healed years and years ago are suddenly back up. So it'll be good when it starts moving forward again. Most of the planets moving direct, it seems that time speeds up. So you can expect that time will speed up through all of November. So if you think things are fast now, just wait. So it's really important that we stay on track and work on grounding, and definitely do everything we can to build some structure and get organized so that we don't end up, letting things fall through the cracks. Lots of things are happening as we prepare for the new energy of 2020 and the new decade.